So that gives some really good options. What's something else that you're seeing in the market that you had not seen before it took this turn?
There have been several open houses. I know in the
What?
last
Open houses in Fayetteville?
houses.
Wait a minute,
yeah.
you have to be talking about new construction.
Oh no.
Oh, because there's no new houses to
residential.
actually have open houses in. We don't have them in new construction anymore.
Yeah. And the reason why that is one of those things that I notice is because I'm seeing homes going on the market live on a Friday and an open house already scheduled in the marketing for a Saturday open house, 3 or 4 hours max. And then a deadline on offers come Sunday. So it's interesting because they're popping up everywhere. It gives you the opportunity to go into a home without scheduling a showing, which has been very difficult right now, especially on those homes that are popping up just in general because of the low supply. So yeah, open houses. Agents are opening homes with owner-occupied homes to give every agent an opportunity or every buyer an opportunity to come through, see the home, and get your offers in.
So that's an interesting dynamic because in our market, open houses have historically not been very effective in the residential resale market.
Correct.
Now, a little bit of background for the listeners. One of the reasons for that is so many of our buyers come in from outside of the area. By the time they physically get into town, they've already found a house. They've come for a visit. They've already made a decision. They're already under contract. And so in most cases, historically speaking, when you do an open house of a resale property here in Fayetteville, what you got all the neighbors and all the people coming in after church on Sunday. And they just want to, they got time to kill. And they're
they just want to see what's going on.
The house, and if it's a vacant house, they spend a lot less time, but they still walk around. And if it's occupied, they're just walking through looking at all your stuff, not necessarily in a mean way, not necessarily in a bad way, like they're going to come back and take it all, but just they're curious. And it's like walking through a Good Housekeeping magazine or something. So this is one of those things where in every other part of the world, sellers who have never sold a house in Fayetteville have been like, I want you to do open houses. We're like, oh, really? No, I don't think not in our market. It's not because we're lazy. It's just because we know they've never been effective, right? However, now, because the market has shifted, we now have a pent-up demand for houses from buyers that are looking, who are physically here in Fayetteville. They had to come here regardless. They're in, extended stays. They're in leases in apartment complexes. They're in whatever. They had to rent a home. They didn't want to rent a home. They're still looking for a house to buy. So we have this pent up demand for houses for the first time ever of people that are actually here in Fayetteville going, yes, I want a house. I'm having trouble finding one. I don't think that's a dynamic we're very familiar with.
Very new. Very new in the sense of recent. Recently, it's just one of those things, like you said, it wasn't a demand for it. Buyers knew what they wanted when they got here. They were already under contract. They already had an agent go through, do a virtual showing, but now everyone is here, and it is a very unique dynamic to see it in this market because we're still in those multiple offer situations.
Oh, wait. So an open house on a weekend is not your, people, if you're going to go do open houses on a weekend, it's not your slowly stroll through, take your time. We just need something to do before the family gets together at the restaurant. It's not that kind of.
No, not. You are going to come up. There's probably going to be about 5 or 6 agents with their clients, potentially their family, to the clients, maybe a few buyers that just want to look, haven't really committed to an agent, but it's going to be a house party looking for the house. And then you're going to see it is It's a fun time.
And there will be offers being written back in the day.
Car.
Yes, exactly. Back in the day, I was raised by, you have paper contracts with you, and in order to get a contract written, if you have to write it on the trunk of your car, you do not complain about people scratching your paint job. You just make it happen. We are back to that. Except now we're sitting in the car on our iPads doing it, saying, click here for signature.
Sign. On the phone, giving instructions as well while you do it. Yeah.
We're sitting next to each other going, okay, all right. I filled out the contract. I'm emailing it to you for signatures. Yeah, open up your email now.
Right now.
Right now. Because as soon as this is signed, not only am I
fill in,
I'm emailing it to the agent, but I'm also going to walk back into the open house and say, look at it now.
Here it is. It's sent. And you better make sure you send a confirmation text that says, hey, I sent my offer. Did you get it?
That's right. That's right. And little clue for agents who aren't all that tech savvy out there is, when you're doing this DocuSign software, or you have your form software, if you send it through those softwares, you actually get confirmation that those people opened it and looked at it. And so you've got this tracking mechanism that is a little bit like, back when we had more trust in our United States postal system, we could, not the individuals, this is not an individual crack on the mailman, but just the system as a whole, we used to do like that's confirmed receipt, right? That's kind of what the electronic software does, the same thing, like confirmed receipt. They opened it. They may not have signed it yet, but they viewed it 2 times in the last 12 hours. And the software tells us that, like, this is, we can see that. One person signed it, one person looked at it, but didn't sign it. And so those are the types of things that are really important tools to have when you're dealing with multiple offers.
It's been fun. Even getting in a showing sometimes on a home. Once it's live, it's hard. So the open houses have come in handy for us agents who haven't been able to schedule a showing that first day.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, there are stories up here, Greensboro, Raleigh, all these types of things where, that's one of the reasons I like to travel around, is because I get to see what's happening in other cities. And literally they will have lines of cars out a neighborhood on an open house day. And before everyone gets through that house is already sold. Like sellers are just like, okay, I will take offers through the open houses from 10 to 2. And we will start entertaining the offers at 2 o'clock. And by 3 o'clock, they're signed, and there are still people waiting in line hoping they still get into that house.
Agents cooperating with each other in the home at the same time for their showings, because now there's more overlapping showings allowed.
Because we're coming out of sort of the COVID thing, or the fear of it.
So you could be at a home showing it to your client with 2 other agents, one coming out and 2 of you going in.
So what we're starting to see in other places is that what will happen is the seller stays occupied but just leaves town for that weekend. As a seller, you do not want to be in town when this happens. Let the circus be run by the ringmaster. Let the agent. One more job description.
Pretty much.
One more hat to wear. And by the way, as an agent, don't do this on your own. If you've got a 2-story house, you really need someone upstairs and downstairs. You really shouldn't be in the house by yourself with multiple people. Not so much it could still be a safety thing, but with a whole bunch of people watching the property and looking at it, it may not be so much as a safety thing. In the past, in our area, open houses, because you may in a 4-hour period only have 2 or 3 people come in, you never knew when the next person would be there who could save you from a really bad situation. But nowadays, that's not really the issue, because you have so many people in this short period of time coming to see the house, but it creates a management issue for you, making sure that your client and the house is protected, not so much worried about your own physical well-being. So those things are really important, especially if it's an occupied home and it's got stuff in it. You really need someone having those eyes and ears
on.
Yeah. And you've got to make sure your client's really prepared for this, right? And we're not in a market where we've done these regularly enough as agents to where we can just say, oh, easy peasy, we don't have to worry about it. No, you need to be going through a punch list with your client. It's not about just having the house clean and organized. It's about, making sure the house is safe.
Privacy.
Get the knives off the daggone countertops. Get them off the countertops. Make sure all valuables are locked away. We're in Fayetteville. Weapons are locked away. These people are going to open every drawer and door, and it doesn't matter if it's on your dresser or it's your closet. They're curious.
Yeah.
Right. And if they're looking in your drawer, it may not be because they want to see your personal stuff, but literally buyers nowadays are like, I wonder if they'll sell us the furniture as well.
Yes. I wonder if I could get that hutch.
Yeah. I mean, that is also what is happening. I mean, haven't you sold more houses with the furniture being negotiated in than ever before?
I have.
Yeah.
I sure have. Take what you want and we'll figure the rest out.
Yeah. It's like sellers used to put stickers on that say this may be negotiable, like negotiable item or for sale item. Now it's buyers going through going, will you sell this also? Here's my sticker.
I'll take that table if you want. You don't even have to move it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really flipped on its head in more ways than people realize, right?
It has.
And again, it's so funny because I've been hearing these stories for 20 years in other markets. Like, I was like, that is not our market. Now I'm like,
that is our market.
Now we get to experience all these stories and all that. How did you deal with it? Questions that I got to ask are really, it's neat. I mean, it's interesting because it feels like I have a little data bank in my head that's saying, oh, that's a drawer I can now open that I never knew I'd have to open and dig into.
Yeah.
So really